Welcome back to Inside the National. It's just half an hour till kick-off in that important local derby here in the capital. We'll be talking to fans of both teams to find out why the match is so important. But first, international news. It will be days, perhaps even weeks, until the full results of the Iraqi provincial elections are known. The polls held yesterday were largely peaceful, and they were welcomed by many Iraqis.
The day of the election was a great day for the Iraqi people. The polling stations were very close and the security situation was very good. They lifted the curfew early because the security situation was so good, enabling the people to go to the polling stations easily. The people felt safe to go to polling stations and even felt free to choose the list that they wanted. No one was feeling pressure on them, and this is the simple right of a citizen.
The election was also praised by the US President Barack Obama. Turnout was high in many areas, especially in Sunni provinces, which had boycotted the last provincial polls. With me is Sean McLean from the National's comment desk. And Sean, let's talk first of all about security. It was really a pretty good day.
Yeah, it was actually quite surprising. The violence leading up to Election Day was quite high, and it looks like it was escalating, but the day of was surprisingly quiet. Nouri al-Maliki's security increases and the curfew he imposed actually went a long way to reducing the violence, which shocked everybody, made everybody quite relieved, actually.
And turnout was strong as a consequence.
Initial counts, unofficial, are about 60%, which is astounding in any democracy in Iraq, especially leading up to the vote. It looked like there may have been a lower than expected turnout, but it's very significant. And
particularly in Sunni areas. The Sunnis, of course, boycotted the last provincial elections back in 2005.
Yeah, and that has a lot to do with the anger that built up after being ostracized from the government. It seems that a lot, especially the tribal groups, learned a lot from the prior election, and they were eager to have themselves represented in government. So they all came out in force this time, which was very, very good.
And it's going to be a while till we get results, days, perhaps even weeks for full results. But, I mean, the things we should look out for. I mean, let's look specifically first at the Sunni areas. You say tribal groups now getting involved, challenging the old established Sunni parties.
Yeah, and the problem is as you know, the tribal groups boycotted the last election, and that left the power in a small minority of Sunni Islamist groups, the Iraqi Islamic Party. And a lot of the tribal groups are unhappy with it. They saw them as being pushed out. The majority of Sunnis pushed out of the pillars of power. And so they are trying to rectify that, and again, that's very good. The more voices in politics, and the less they shoot each other, the better it is for Iraq.
And the tribes that are getting involved are the same tribes who are part of the Sons of Iraq movement.
The Sons of Iraq, the Awakenings, whatever you want to call them. And they are making alliances with the Islamic Party, especially in the case of Anbar, but in Diyala and in Baghdad in particular are where we're going to probably see the most gains from the tribes, because they're running separately.
So a real change potentially in the makeup of Sunni politics, but what about in the Shiite side of things?
On the Shiite side of things, the most interesting thing to see from this election was what sort of impact it will have on Maliki's hold on power. Because the Dawa party has made huge gains.
Maliki's party?
Yeah, Maliki's party is the Dawa party, and they've made huge gains in the past year as far as public opinion. They've become a sort of nationalist party. So they've been able to challenge the Islamic Supreme Council, which is the big Shiite Islamist party in Iraq, and as well as the Sadrists and Fatila and some of the more offshoot that have their roots in the poorer sections of power. So this election, more than anything, is a referendum on Maliki's rule. And so it would be interesting to see what sort of gains they make.